children. We renounce all of the property. I will hand over every property document to the rest of the family who've been fighting over these things, and they can do whatever they like with it. They can divide it, distribute it, however they want to do, whatever they want to do with it. We never came here for property. We never came here for money. We never came here for gold. We came here, wallah billah, fi sabilillah, and for no other reason but to dedicate our lives for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to uphold the mission, and to spread the mission, and to carry on the mission of Sheikh Mubarik Gilani. I pledged my allegiance to Murshid Kano when I was 14 years old, and I never turned back, and may Allah allow me to never turn back. This is my goal in life. This has been my goal. This will always, inshallah, be my goal. I don't need property. I don't need talibs and talibas. I don't need money. I have my Allah, and I have the love and acceptance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because even though people want to start calling me by my maiden name and don't want to call me by my proper name, they don't have to accept me. Because Rasulullah came to me personally to welcome me to his family. And Rasulullah accepts me. So with his acceptance, I'm very happy. I don't need anyone else's acceptance. This young man here, wallah billah, Rasulullah also accepted him and appointed him as he's appointed him. So we don't need anything else. We don't need anyone else. We don't need anything. Alhamdulillah, my daughter, Zainab Gilani, she's on the same page, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep her steadfast and protect her from the evil of those who are plotting against her and us, and keep us together, keep us united under the shade of His love and His rahmah. So the first property which I would like to mention is the 18B Upper Mall Myanmar house, in which we've lived for 20 plus years. My children were born there, and they've lived there for their whole lives. One day Shadi told me, Lord, the reason why I'm going to put this house in your name is because my sons will try to kick you out of this house one day. He told me this. He told me this. And I said, Shadi, please, I don't want to talk about it. He said, no, you should know. You should know. My sons, they will try to kick you out of this house one day. So, subhanAllah. What's happened? That's happened. And so that house, this is some ancestral property, and there is a sale deed in my name for that house, and I have that. That was the first property document that I'll be submitting to these people. They can do whatever they like with it. However, I'm going to make it clear that Murshid Kama said that Shafat's portion belongs to him, Ali's portion belongs to him. Mudassir has 3 bedrooms upstairs. Hamza has 1 bedroom upstairs. Nur Hussain and Hajar have their rooms upstairs as well. And Sultan has some rooms upstairs. And the lower portion of the house only belongs to myself, Sultan, Nur Hussain, Hajar, and Hamza Gilani. And Shadi made it very clear. He said to many times to his administrators that the back of the house, which is the Zavia and the sitting room and his bedroom, these will always belong with the Jamaat, and these will always be with the Jamaat as the Zavia. But at this time, we are giving this up for the sake of this Jamaat, for the sake of the family, for the sake of Ahlul Bayt, and because we have no love for anything but Allah. We have love for nothing but Rasulullah. We have love for nothing but Murshid Kamil. We don't need property, we don't need money, we don't need gold. The next item on the list is the shops and apartments in Myanmar, in which people who have been here, you've seen the whole Myanmar Bazaar, that also all of it belongs to Murshid Kamil, as well as the place where Lubna Begum and Muazma Begum are living, as well as where I have the Ghazala Fashions Factory, and there's some apartment buildings and things there. Those documents will also be handed over. This was the property which was actually legally in Shadi's name, and which was supposed to be divided amongst the legal heirs, but which they rejected and said, no, we don't want only this property, we want all of the property. So you know what? Please, take all of the property. My personal house in 166 Upper Mall, which is 100% in my name, has never been in anyone else's name before. That as well, I'm giving that up as well. The house which Shadi bought for Nur Hussain, a small house, apartment type at Aziz Avenue, some of you have seen it, we're also giving that up. There's two apartments on Food Street, and Nur Hussein's house as well as those 2 apartments, they've been on rent for the past 10, 15 years. And the rent from that, usually we use it to feed people in the masjid, to pay the imam, to pay the electricity bill. Because in Myanmar, there's a masjid there which Shadi built, and we've been feeding about 40 to 50 people every day, alhamdulillah. And we use the rent monies from those 2 apartments. It's not much, 20,000 rupees a month, whatever. But we use that rent money from that house as well as the 2 apartments and we pay the masjid expenses, the imam of the masjid, and we feed the people. So that, we're also giving that up. Then there's two lots which we invested in DHA City. We never received those lots. We have the documents for it. We never received them because they were tied up in some legalities. The lots were never actually allotted to the people who purchased them. So that's there, but we'll give those files up as well. There is a portion of land which Shadi purchased in Sawat. Only Ali Gilani knows about that. Shadi was advised that that land was washed away by the river. Allah knows best. But I never had the documents of it. I believe it is in Hussein's name, but we have no claim. We're leaving that as well. There's some other land which Shadi purchased along with Colonel Gilani. I think it's in Fatah Jung. Colonel Gilani has information on that, but that's also, we're leaving that. Then there's the Canal Bank apartment, which actually Shadi transferred from Sultan Shah's name into my name, and told me that the reason he's transferring this into my name is because he wanted to give it to Nurullah and Abdul Qadir when they got older, and he didn't know how long he was going to be around, so he wanted to make sure that he left something to them. So that is in my name, and I'm going to hand over the document to Ibrahim as a caretaker for Abdul Qadir and her sons, and they can decide whatever they would like to do with it. If they want me to transfer it into anyone's name, I'm very willing to do that. Or if they want to keep collecting the rent from it, that's fine, however they would like to proceed with that, because I don't have the authority to give that up, because it doesn't belong to me, and it actually belongs to these young orphans. Then there's the Mercedes-Benz, which is also in the lawsuit, and in order to avoid conflict and fighting, we appraised the Mercedes. We had it appraised at 26 lakh rupees, and I paid the entire family 30 lakh rupees, just bought it out from everyone, so that the matter could be finished off and it would not cause any further contention and problems. Of course, it was still not enough. As far as all the cash that Shadi had, that was all distributed to all the family members. Everyone knows this. The gold which he had for his grandchildren, that has all been distributed. I have the signing, all of the documents, everyone received all of this and they signed for it. Even if they now may say that they didn't receive it, I have the signatures, everyone has actually received it. The grandchildren know they've received it. Every one of Shadi's grandchildren, alhamdulillah. And then there was a Jamaat vehicle which you all sent money for, $40,000 we purchased, and this was a double cabin, and the family was, having problems with this vehicle after Shadi passed away. So in order to avoid the problems, I sold that vehicle and divided the money between all of the family members and gave them that money as well. Didn't keep it for myself, and then we had to, of course, I had to repurchase something for the Jamaat, which is why we currently have a small Suzuki now, because that's all that could be afforded. And as I mentioned earlier, the Gilani good land, obviously because the bar is there and he's very there, that's the only thing that we're going to hold on to, and the only thing that we're going to maintain. Everything else, I'll hand over all the property documents to all of the people who desire them, in the presence of Colonel Gilani and Rosa and a few of the other elders of the family, and we have nothing else to do with these people. They have nothing to do with us. I wish no harm on anyone. I hate no one, but I'm not prepared to spend the rest of my life or the next 10 years of my life or my children's lives bickering and arguing over something which is worth nothing. And the reason why I say it's worth nothing is because there was a story of a dervish who came to a palace, and before he came to the palace and he just lay down, and lay down and was going to go to sleep, and the king said, "What are you doing here in my palace?" He said, "Oh, I'm just a visitor." He said, "Well, you don't have my permission to come here." He said, "Well, I'm just a visitor just like you." The king said, "You idiot, I'm not a visitor here, this is my palace." And the dervish said, "Is this your palace?" And he said, "Yes, it's my palace, I'm the king here." He said, "Oh, well, a few hundred years ago, who did it belong to?" He said, "My great-great-grandfather." He said, "Oh, what happened to him?" He said, "Obviously he died." He said, "Then who did it belong to?" "My great-grandfather." And then what happened? The dervish asked him, "What happened to the great-grandfather?" "He died too, a long time ago." He said, "Oh, okay, and then who did it belong to?" He said, "My grandfather." The dervish asked him, "Where is your grandfather?" He said, "Oh, Yar, my grandfather has also died." He said, "Then who did it belong to?" He said, "My father." He said, the dervish asked him, "Where is your father?" He said, "My father passed away." He said, "Oh, okay. So all of those people were just coming here as visitors, and now you're also a visitor here, and then one day this place is going to belong to your son, and his son, and his son. And this palace is going nowhere, but we're all going somewhere, back to our Allah." And what's the point of fighting over something like this? Let me see here. I can stay there the same way you're staying there, all this. So really, truly, all of these matters of property and this is the meaning of this land, it means nothing. It really means nothing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our intention and knows why things have been, we utilize the rent of the property to give dawah and to help people. Everyone knows, and even if everyone doesn't know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. And this is why Mubarik Gilani put these, did things the way he did them, because he knows that he left a very, very big legacy, very big shoes to be filled. And we have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of financial responsibilities. But at the end of the day, it is not worth the bloodshed of family members. It is not worth the bloodshed of Ahlul Bayt. And as we see, the members of the family, some members of the family have resorted to physical aggression and to violence and to shedding blood. And I'm personally not prepared to go to those lengths for something which belongs to no one, which we're all guests in, we're all visitors of. There's also a story of Islam, asked him if he wanted to drink for a cup of water, and he gave him a full bowl of water, and he started drinking it, and it tasted bitter, so he spat it out, and he said, I don't want no water in this bowl. He said, why not? He said, because I can taste that this bowl has been made from the remains of dead people. The bowl made another bowl, which is pure, so I can drink some water. So the jinn went and he made another bowl, and same thing. He made another 10 bowls, same thing, another 100 bowls. And he said, can you not find a piece of clay on this earth that is not made of the remains of dead people? And the jinn searched the entire earth. And wallah billah, when every bowl that they made, and every place on the earth that they found, the clay was made, the clay was the dead remains of humans. We're all going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only thing we can take with us is our intentions and our deeds. The only thing we can take with us is our sincerity. The only thing we can take with us is our love and dedication to Murshid-Kamil, to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is sufficient for us, and this is what we want to take with us. وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وصحابة سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم عليه. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. السلام عليكم.